Yeah, girl.
I'm gonna need some air for this story. So last night, it was really indescribable. Honestly, the other day when I was talking about never having a near-death experience, that might have been it.
I think this race is like no other. Starting at 15,000 feet, running to 20,000 feet. You don't do that every day. It's not a race, it's an adventure.
I got a little cut here up in the mountains, and because it's high altitude, I bled a lot more than normal, so I got it fixed. Alright, back to work. I'm going for the prayer flag shot. I've gone and buried myself up in the prayer flags, and we'll see how this works out.
And the spectacular prayer flags add to the experience. Whether they choose to repeat it or not, this is something they'll talk about for a long time. Everyone picks up the pace as they descend, but it's the local man, Xia, who's the only man who's been able to run on light legs. He takes the win in 62 minutes, 10 minutes clear of Schlab.
Essentially what's happened is we need to go and collect our team because they've been up on the mountain for almost 24 hours. And they're going to have a long, hard walk out, so we're going to try and relieve some of the walk. The only problem is JD takes the shortcut down the riverbed, and if he does that, then I can't get him. So we're trying to cut him off at the pass before he takes the riverbed. And Eric's driving a burnt out vehicle because the guys can't drive manuals.
This clutch is messed up, and this vehicle is pretty new. Need a ride, cowboy?
This thing's a monster. This is Big Red right here, 7,000 cubic inches. But I got all my shit.
All right, I'm gonna do a turnaround.
Yeah.
Hey man!
Hey!
How you doing?
Oh, good.
What an effort!
That was epic last night.
How was it?
It was good, but last night was crazy.
Get the adventure you wanted?
That's the biggest adventure I've ever had.
How was the shoot?
It was fast and frantic,
Yeah.
and over very quickly. But yeah, hopefully we got something.
Yeah. So that's Alyssa.
I was going up, we were going up to CP1, and it was okay, a little windy, but nothing out of the norm. When you start to get on that steeper part, and I'm carrying this load, and JD gives me his poles, so that's helping. And I'm like really struggling, and this giant gust of wind comes through and I fall. And I'm like, oh shit, this does not look good. And the wind did not stop for like a solid hour. We had just like ice pellets coming in full force, banging us in the face. JD's trying to like be behind me and push on my pack to keep me up. And I'm constantly falling. I'm pretty sure I have like a bruise or something here. And even the Sherpas are in front of us. This is the crazy part. Once we get to like a more bigger rocks, the Sherpas are all hiding behind these rocks. So when you see the Sherpas doing that, you're like, oh shit, we might be a little fucked. And I'm like, okay, well, there's really no turning back at this point. Especially when you're like rolling with JD, who's like, yeah, okay, we got this, we got this. And so there was a point on the ledge where I was like so exhausted and just so frustrated because the wind kept knocking me down. I had to go the whole way like this. Like at a point I had to be so low to the ground. Me and Chris were like, we need to stop here and take a break. And JD goes, give me your pack, I'm gonna haul ass. Puts the pack on, runs like a good 100 meters and gets to CP1. And I look at Chris, I'm like, is he serious right now? So then me and Chris just go, we book it, and we get there, and of course our bags for our sleeping bags aren't there yet because the Chinese guys who were carrying them were behind us. And so me and JD are in the tent, just us and our clothing, like shivering and not speaking, just kind of like staring, like what the fuck just happened? Chris drops his camera off, doesn't say a word, and leaves the tent. So then we're like, and once we realize Chris's camera's here, but he's not, we're like, where did Chris go? And we're asking people, we're on the radio, we're like, where's Chris, where's Chris? Nobody knows. We come to find out he was snuggling up to a Sherpa in another tent to keep warm because we didn't have any of the gear. Whole night the wind was just like knocking the tent, the ice, you could hear the ice pellets hitting the tent. I was like, here we are, I'm just gonna have to cocoon up in my bag because there's no going back at this point. And we're thinking, oh, in the morning we'll wake up, it's gonna be a little better. No, wake up in the morning, same thing. I'm just like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to film in this. I don't know if we can have a race. We pulled it off. In the end, I'm alive. So badly, I was like, I can't wait to tell Eric and Viv this. Oh, you guys. Well done. Thanks. Even JD was like, I'm proud of you.
Wow. Dude, that was one of the most gnarly windstorms and pallet ice rock storms I've ever been in. Like, seriously. Right up there with all the mountains I've been in. And we made good time to the glacier, and then we hit that ridge, the lower ridge, and it started picking up. I'm like, oh, that's just the Venturi effect off the glacier, you know, where it speeds up. It'll be better. I'm telling these guys that. Like, you know, positive reinforcement. So we hit the other ridge, and the Sherpas are all spread out, and then it just really picked up. And it was like complete everything's survival to get up that ridge. I mean, you're hunkered down and you're trying to breathe, and your pack's going all over the place, and you're getting pelted from the ice chunks, and even the rocks are coming up. And hide behind a little rock. 3 minutes, okay, go. It was like a relay, the mountain. And we get to that last little high point right before our camp, and it was like really picking up and getting dark. And that was our crux right there, because that's where I'm like, give me the pack, Alyssa. And I can see yellow. I smell the barn. Give me that thing. I just ran. And my face mask went down, and my lips got like flash frozen and completely numb. It took like 20 minutes to get my feeling back. That was cray.
We did it. We survived.
Yeah, besides Chris giving me a scare.
Yeah.
Here's the camera that looked like shit, like, I don't know, $1,000, $10,000 camera, whatever. It's just covered in snow. And then I was the first one in, Alyssa's next, and he just shows the camera in, and I see him through the vestibule just take off, like, here's the expensive stuff, I'm out of here.
We thought that he was just so like
out of it in his
survival
head.
mode, and he was like, what the fuck just happened? That he
like,
took off
run, so
back down the hill.
No radio contact, no, I'm looking at the Sherpas. I went out after like 15 minutes looking for him, like this, and like, no. And there he is again. This guy. We made it through.
The survivors.
Oh man. Tell him about that.
YuZhu Peak 2017.
It was a bit tricky getting to the tent last night.
What's your side of the story, Chris?
What happened when you dropped the camera off?
What was going through your head when you did that?
I dropped the camera off, it was just like a frosty heap of snow.
Ice chunks.
Yeah. I wondered whether it would ever work again. Chucked it in the tent, then went off looking for our pack with sleeping bags. It was a half-hearted attempt, to be honest. I got straight in the nearest tent I could find, found a Sherpa and cuddled him in a sleeping bag for a while.
Classic!
That's classic.
I'm like, take me to the Baiju, let's go.
So even though we're finished shooting for today, we've got yet more hurdles to overcome.
I fit 100 gallons into 500 gallons. I mean, vice versa. Sorry, I'm a little AMS.
So what you doing there?
Just, you know, fitting 20 gallons into 10. Just because it's on top doesn't mean it's going to get to the destination. With that road, no way.
Where's the rope, Eric?
Well, my first part of my plan is to get it up there. Second part, well actually, before I started packing it, to be honest, I asked the guy, does he have rope? And he says, yes he does. And I said, where is it? And he goes, oh, I don't know.
I got paracord.
Oh, JD's got rope!
There
you go.
So,
and that's how we do
so
it
the fella,
here.
Oh my God.
fella said he had rope, but didn't know where it is. So, which was freaking useless.
A note to all you kids out there who want to go into film production. You need to know more than just how to operate a camera. You need to know how to tie.
It's like a minor part, really.
You need to know how to fix problems like this.
Oh, you got someone who wants to be in the shot.
Oh, this guy, my chef.
So since we've been at this hotel, a lot of the people who work here like to just observe what we do. I don't know if they think we're just ridiculous. That's probably what it is. They've probably never seen this before in their lives. bunch of Westerners coming through and filming and eating piles of food and then running around like crazy people. So that's really what's going on. Eric's making friends.
We're kind of like National Geographic, but we're a lot more badass. Yeah, thanks.